Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. How you doing, Bruce?
I'm good, brother.
What are you up to, man?
Man, beautiful Sunday. I ain't up much. Might go throw something on the grill, bro.
All right, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah, man. Might cook some dinner.
But you know what I'm doing? I'm selling ice cream.
I know it, man.
It's always about the ice cream.
I see the truck out front.
It's always about the ice cream, man. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we did a show called Let's Talk Real Talk, and we had a lot of community activists and leaders come in and talk about what was going on in the city of Louisville, how we dealing with racism, Breonna Taylor, the whole 9 yards. It was only supposed to be an hour. We ran about 2 hours and 15 minutes. So we're going to continue that series with you two. And this is number 2, and we have 2 great guests. We just had the first Black female vice president.
Yeah.
So why not start out with 2 great Black women?
Yeah. I mean, who ain't got the power, man?
That's
right. Hey, I'm sitting beside the power. I'm sitting beside the power. I'm sitting beside the power. So Shay and Stacy, welcome back.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you back on the show. This is our YouTube series. And if you would, just introduce yourself to everybody. And we only got 1 camera this week, but we're going to work on having 1 or 2 the next week. So we're going to have to look at that camera, introduce yourself, tell them what you do, what you do, and then we'll get right into the show.
Sounds like a winner. Hello everybody. I'm Christina Johnson on paper. They call me Shay. I've been with the board for about 17 years, Jefferson County Public Schools. I am a district resource teacher, and my job is to teach trauma-informed care throughout every school in JCPS. I'm also a mother, a wife, and definitely a community activist.
And bomb. Let me leave that on there.
That's right.
Hi everyone. First of all, welcome. I am Stacy Sowell. I retired from the Commonwealth of Kentucky. I did social work for 27 years. I took a couple years off, went back to work, and I'm a program manager for an awesome agency that deal with clients with developmental disabilities. I'm a great branch of, I graduated in December.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I already have a job offer to be a substance abuse counselor, so I will be doing that part-time because I love my main job a lot, so I don't want to give that up. So I'll be doing that part-time also to be helping the community to try to rehab our people.
That's right.
Amen. Well, Bruce, we're glad to have these 2 powerful, strong sisters here.
Yes, we are.
Now, if we can, I'd like to go back just a little bit, okay? I want to talk a little bit about Breonna Taylor's case, kind of get your opinion on that first, and then I want to bring it full circle and find out if you think we're going to get justice. And I'm going to start with you, Shay, and then I'm going to go right to Stacy.
What I want to do, I want to talk about what we actually did yesterday.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So at the Bree Square, or Injustice Square, we got together, the community, white, black, straight, gay, we all got together and we took all the artifacts from the square and we marched down. It was awesome. We marched down, we were in wheelchairs and canes, but we marched down to, I think it was 7th and Main to Routes 101. And all the artifacts were down. Be there along with Tyler, the young man that was killed while he was at the square, and David McAtee, his artifacts will be there as well. So just super excited that she has her final resting place, but the fight absolutely, we're continuing, and Breonna's mom said yesterday, come by and see my baby, don't forget about her, but this is just half, because we're still out there every day in the streets because of the injustices of her and me more.
Okay, thank you so much.
And I'm thankful that she has a final place for her belongings. I thought they would have been making a movement way before now. So I'm just glad that we have a final resting place for people to come, even out of town, and still come here and they go there.
And they'll have somewhere to go.
And they'll have somewhere to go to see her memorial. The other part about it is the job is not done. We still do not have justice.
Right.
I'm praying and hoping that we do get someone else involved to look at this case and open it back up and file charges against the officers because it needs to be done. I don't think that we will rest until justice is served.
When we talk about, Stacy and Shay, even Bruce, when we talk about justice, tell me exactly, because I already know, but tell me what we're looking for, what we're looking to have happen, that would really put people at peace.
Well, for me, personally, I look at it that you can't hide behind a badge. They need to admit, they know it was flawed. They know that they did not take the proper steps to, issue the warrant. And for me, if you or I went into someone's home or kicked the door in or shot in the house or whatever, we will be charged.
Immediately. Immediately.
With no questions asked. They will be right there going to lock us up and we'll be held accountable. We want the officers to be held accountable. They are no different than you and I. The difference is they have the badge. And when we talk about, because we know our officers are not bad officers, we know that. But when you cover for the bad officer, it puts you in that same light. So we just want justice. We just want someone to be held accountable for her death because she did not have to die that day.
And there's so many secrets.
Yes.
There's so many secrets, and we're trying to uncover the secrets. David Cameron, it's time for him to open up the books, open up the paperwork, and let the public see everything. The problem with me is it goes further than just the police and the David Cameron, the injustice of our state of Kentucky, the teachers that are teaching our children. If they have the same opinion or the same mindsets of these bad officers, what in the world will our children gain? If you're sitting in a classroom with a teacher that already has opinions formed about you, that you're not going anywhere, I don't care about your thoughts, I don't care about calling on you, then our kids, they go into a box and they don't open up, they don't show how smart they are because you've ignored them so long, right? And so it goes way further than Breonna Taylor and David Cameron. Our kids, we tell everybody, education's the key, but when you're looking at your professor, or when you're looking at your kindergarten teacher, or you're looking at your 12th grade teacher, and they don't care about you at all, or your goals, or your opinions, or your learning, that's a problem right there.
Well, to me, justice is simple. Just plain and simple. Arrest. Lock them up. If you lock them up and charge them with murder, what they're supposed to be charged with, instead of giving them a raise, everything would be settled.
But that's not even on the board. Well, when the grand jury came in, guys, and correct me if I'm wrong, that was not even the option. So let me ask you two ladies this. Okay, I'm 55 years old, right? My entire life, I have witnessed the police department beating black men, snatch them out of the car, make them sit on the curb, okay? Chokeholds, killing us. When I see these things happen, a lot of people have gotten really upset, but when I see it, it's kind of like business as usual.
Yeah.
So what do you say to the black community about those officers? Because I keep hearing people say there's some good officers, there's some bad officers, but if they all police officers and they all come from the same precinct, okay, and nobody's telling on each other, nobody's talking about why did this man choke this guy? Why did this man have his knee on this gentleman's neck for 8 minutes? What do you say to kind of put me at peace? Because when I'm driving down the street, if a police car pulls me over, I go right into Babel mode. Hands on the wheel, I'm not moving, I don't touch the radio, I don't do anything because my only job then is to make it home. I just want to stay alive. So and we shouldn't feel like it when we get pulled over, but that's how we feel. So what do you say to us, the older black guys, Bruce and Neil? I can't say Redhead because Redhead's young, he's big, police ain't gonna bother him, so we have to be about 12 or 13 police to bother him.
I don't know, he's still got the right color.
I know.
It's not an intimidation factor.
Yeah, they have to call SWAT for him. They have to call SWAT to get him out of there. So what do you say to us?
Well, the sad part is that I understand how you feel. I'm a woman and I feel like that at times. So, you know, and we talked about this before, my husband knows it's a rule. If he gets pulled over, he calls me immediately. I wanna know exactly where you are and on your bug. You ain't far away, I'm jumping in my car and I'm coming there as a witness. I just don't trust them pulling my husband over, especially at night. Because at night, they were saying, you know, he was reaching for this, we thought he was reaching for something, you don't have anything in your car. And you're right, you know, the old schoolers do look at it like, hey, it's business as usual, they've been doing this for so long, that we look, you know, first thing they do, they take your car, they put handcuffs on, you'll see 4 or 5 guys with handcuffs sitting on the sidewalk. For what, you know? What do they do? You put them over for a traffic violation, that requires you to handcuff them. So, you know, it has to be a change, and the change has to start inside. And
Whoa, that's powerful.
it has to. And the sad part is that, you know, as you said, we say there's good cops and there's bad cops, you know, when the good cops do try to speak up, they're punished for it. They find a way to get rid of them. They find a way to transfer them to another area.
They make you feel like an alien.
You know, they alienate them.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, I'm sure that these officers that's working here are working with these few bad apples, feel like that they're being protected by the higher ups. So if they do go and file something or bring it to somebody's attention, they have seen over and over and over that nothing gets done behind it.
Yeah.
So why report it if nothing's gonna change?
Yeah, but like you said, it starts from the inside, and now we have a woman of color, right? We got a woman of color at the top.
Yes.
So we are definitely looking forward to positive changes. I've heard her speak. She has magnificent goals for our community. And we say, you know, we march all the time, if you're being silenced, you're part of the problem.
Yes.
You're part of. So it's a new day and age. Thank God for social media. Thank God for the cameras. So we have to hold these officers accountable. That camera needs to be on 24/7.
At all
Or
times.
you need to be
At all
on.
times.
At all
That's
times.
right, that's right.
Yeah, 24/7 at all times. And then that goes, like I said, right to social media. Sorry, thank God when our brothers and sisters are pulled over, usually you have so many people pulling over and filming them. It's a record. Yeah, so it's a new day and age. So I don't think we're at a standstill. I think we're definitely building. Like I said, we just got somebody, person of color, with the local police department, and somebody, a person of color who's wearing pearls, walking in the White House.
Yes,
We're doing things.
Oh,
We're doing things. We're doing things. And y'all know the women run.
Yeah.
You know the women run.
At the end of the day.
You'll say the man is the head of the house, so we'll give you that. But underneath, you know what it is.
I know who the
You
real
know what
boss
it
is.
is.
I know who the real boss is. Never forget
But
that.
you know, when you say film it, put it on camera, put it on social media, and that's not even working.
Some of it is.
No, it works.
Some
No.
of it is.
Let me tell you. Hold on. You guys, let me go back to your comment now. I can check you on this, Bruce. If it had not been for that young girl from Minnesota filming the 8 minutes on the neck,
That's right.
the 8 minutes on the neck, a lot of this movie would never happen.
Exactly.
So I say film them all.
And even with the Breonna Taylor case, we're still opening up doors
But-
that we've not seen because of the camera.
Yeah.
I done seen stuff on social media, and I done seen the police look in the camera and smile and laugh,
Oh, yeah.
and say things.
You know why they do that, Bruce? Because they comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
They've
That's
been
what
doing
I'm
it for
saying.
years.
You know,
But guess what?
they-
Guess what now? Change is coming.
But when you say
Change is coming.
on the inside,
Yeah.
what do you mean on the inside?
She just got hired. Give her a little time. She just got hired. It's not going to happen overnight,
Right.
but she does have a plan. And we are all here to support her for her plan and for her goals. So change is coming. It's not going to happen
Give her
overnight.
name.
Give her that.
Yvette Jenkins.
Oh, I know
Imagine
that.
you
She's powerful.
Very.
And
And
the
that's
thing is, people gotta
And I'm
understand.
gonna tell you something. Let me say this real quick before I forget. Shout out to my friend Yvette Jenkins. New
Yes,
police
shout out
chief.
to you.
Louisville, Kentucky. But Yvette don't play.
Thank you.
You know, not only is she the police chief, but I know the side of Yvette where if you get on her nerves too much, she'll lay your gun down and fight. You know, so
But that's what we need.
I'm glad to have her in that
That's what we need.
position.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
And when you're in that position, you have to be a person that don't play.
Mhm.
What you say is what you mean, and what you mean is what you say when you hold those type of positions.
Period.
So if I say it to you, I mean it for you, everybody that's lined up right here. So it ain't no one person get this way and somebody else get it that way. When you're that, she's a fair type of person.
Yeah.
And what she says, what she means, and it goes for everybody that is working up under her. So I think, anytime somebody put a plan, that's what people always, they want things to happen right now. Because we live in this
Because we're
right
microwave
now.
generation.
Yes,
Right.
microwave.
We want to see changes right now. You can't expect for something that's been going on for 30, 40,
Hundreds of years.
55 years. Yeah,
There you go.
I know about.
For years, you can't expect for that to change overnight. So when a plan is put in place, that's like anybody with a business plan or anything else, there's steps to that plan. So we have to be patient and let her plan work itself
And
out.
all she needs right now is support.
Support.
Support
Yeah,
her
but she
community.
don't need support only from us. She needs support within the system too.
But I would say she has some, she's not gonna have it all. You're always gonna have those outliners.
Because
But
she
it's-
gonna be challenged.
Of course she is.
Every day.
Listen, if I've been out here doing all the dirty, corrupt stuff from pulling drug dealers over, taking their money and
Preach
Yeah.
now.
I'm saying to them, do you want to go jail or do you want this $5,500 I just took out of your pocket?
Yeah.
You make the choice.
Yeah.
So they gonna say, I don't want to go to jail, then keep that 55. That 55 ain't getting turned in. That 55 is one of them officers' pockets.
Ooh, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm watching the news the other day. A police officer right here in Louisville, Kentucky, right,
Mm-hmm.
has been taking drugs off of people. And the other day, he gave the drugs to his girlfriend to smoke. Now, they go to her house and interview her, the police department, interviewing the police. She said, oh yeah, he brings drugs here all the time to me. All the time. This has been going on. Now, he has a record of being a bad officer for the last 5 years. Snatching people out of cars, searching women, the whole 9 yards. But I was so glad to see that happen the other day because we know it happens.
Yes.
But this is the first time, due to Black Lives Matter and the movement, this is the first time I've seen any officers get charged.
See, change is coming.
Yeah.
Change is coming. Yeah, what's in the dark is definitely gonna
So
come.
we all gonna sit back and make our tea and just sit.
It's sex, girl.
Yeah,
Sit,
it's
girl.
sex.
Sit, girl. I said sit, girl.
You're serious?
Because it's real hot right now.
Yes.
So you can only sit like this.
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you guys another question. And this kind of goes to, because we're going to cover the presidential race in just a few seconds, okay? But I want to talk about local politics and why it's important that people vote. Because in your local races, in the cities and towns, wherever you live, the counties you live in, your local politician sets policies and laws, okay? So what do you say to those people who didn't vote, who didn't even go to the polls? What would you say to those people, Shay?
I would say do not complain.
Yes.
I would just basically, it's a mouthful, but it means a whole lot. Don't complain. If you did not get up and spend, I think some people even spent like 4 or 5 minutes at the
That's all it
polls.
took me.
You didn't have to do like hours. And so for the complainers, I would like to say, please be quiet. Don't say a word, and let us continue to do what we do because, like I said, change is coming, but it begins with us. We've been educated with the presidential election, but we've not talked about what goes on in our very own community. But you have to have an ear for that. You have to be hungry to learn about the policies in our very own community. And if you don't have an ear for that, but you always got your hand out, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you always got your hand, I know a whole lot.
Mhm.
They got their head down and want them to stop on that EBT and go there and get more time on on the LGBT. This has to do with policies and what's being passed. So if you don't have an ear to listen to what's going on in your very own community and who you need to elect, the community officers, you have to be quiet
Ooh, Lord.
and don't complain.
And the thing
with
about it is, they even made it so simple and easy for you to vote this year. You could have voted on Saturdays.
Yeah.
I was
Early
like,
voting
what more
on
should you
Saturdays.
ask for?
I mean, even if you work during the week, you could have went Saturday morning and
But
voted.
can I say this? Our community is at fault for not teaching each other about our local officials. We know all about Biden and Trump, all
Yes.
about that. But what have you done to teach yourself
There
or
you
to
go.
teach
There you go.
your family about our local, about the Attica Scotts?
Yes.
And, what have you done about the Bookers?
But
What have you
the
done?
thing about that is, and I agree with you 100%, but it's also their job to make themselves accessible with something to
Absolutely.
learn about it. I can teach my kids.
Yeah.
But when they ask who that person is, where that person at, then what I'm saying?
And can I take it right back to the education field?
Yeah.
We're in NTI, so it's okay not to form your opinion, but put up a picture of Booker and say, this
This
is
is who
and
he
he's
is.
this is who he's running, what he's
Yeah.
running for. This is Attica Scott. It's okay to do that. But we form opinions and then that gets tied up.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
anytime you try to bring politics into schooling, somebody's gonna have a problem with it.
Yeah.
So somebody's parents gonna say, I don't appreciate the teacher talking about this particular person in the classroom because that's not the place for it.
We actually had an educator do
I
that.
was gonna say,
We
but you're
had,
absolutely right though. I mean, like,
it's our local.
it's all right. It's the people in our area that's running to represent the area that we live in.
Exactly.
And that's what people gotta realize. Like, some people are mad, just to take it back to when the pools were closed. Well, how come in this area, which is predominantly white, the pools were open?
Yeah.
Right.
They stayed open, but there was no pools for the inner city youth to go to
Yes.
and enjoy.
So true.
So go back and you have to look at the people that's in your area.
And
That's
did you
represent
vote?
the area. Did you vote?
There you
Yeah,
go.
we have to vote
So
to
you
make sure
can't
that person
Yeah.
is representing your
Let me
area.
ask this to you ladies real quick. Because Bruce said something that triggered something in my mind. Is it any responsibility for the parents in the home to teach their children about politics and local issues?
You know what? A lot of these parents don't even know.
They don't know
Thank
themselves.
you.
They don't know themselves,
Thank you.
Mom.
Thank you.
And it's really sad. Because I have heard it so many I'm on social media, people posting this stuff, and I'm looking like, are you serious? I'm believing you as a friend. If you ain't done, but you don't think that voting is an important part of your life and that your ancestors died for this ability to allow you to vote, but you put dumb memes up like my vote don't count, it don't matter, they don't pick who they want anyway, da 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 da. And I'm like, all you gotta do is look at some of the previous elections. It's been about 1,000 votes, 1,200 votes, 800 votes.
We had some that was more than 7 or 8 votes.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So why would you think that your vote don't count?
And we had some voting for Kanye.
No, don't even get me started on that. You know what?
In William, Kentucky.
If you voted for Kanye, I'm gonna need you to really educate yourself.
Oh,
That's
my
all I
God.
have to say.
Let's jump right to the presidential election, guys.
Yes.
Let's jump right to now. For those who don't know who the new president's going to be, but one of you ladies be having the
Kamala Harris, 2020. No. I only say that because she's a black woman in the White House. She
Yes.
will be a black woman in the White House, and she is extremely brilliant. And Joe Biden, he's been there for about 30, 40 years, about 40 years in politics. But we know what it is. When a black woman is in any house,
You know,
in any
our
house,
opinion is gonna be heard.
But that's what makes him a great leader.
that's what makes him a great leader.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Thank
That's what
you.
makes him a
Right,
great
right.
leader. Because he surrounded himself with the people and the person that he knew that could
And
carry.
he said the White House is going to look like America.
Yeah, so
It's
you
gonna be
know,
a mixture of this
And that's how it
and
should
that,
be.
and that's actually.
Because you know what? These last 4 years, when you look at anything that 45 had put together, you didn't see one person of
No
color.
color.
Not one.
oh,
It was a white wave.
Well, no.
But don't you say no being Carson. Don't you
You
dare.
said
We
people of
traded
color
them.
though.
We
I'm
traded them.
saying, when we took pictures, even to the students that was in college that would come and do their hours at the White House, when they do their
Community
Internship.
service.
service,
Yeah.
internship,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
You didn't see nobody in color.
No.
They took a picture and I'm looking. I zoomed in. I wanted to count how many it was. None. Joe
Biden's gonna be, I'm sorry, I did
No,
say
you
Harris,
Yeah.
but Joe Biden is gonna be a wonderful, wonderful president. Our country is hurting. I look at it as an open sore.
Yes.
And what our other president, what we call him 45, what he's done is he's just poured salt, with racism and salt with all these people dying
Talk
of
about
COVID.
it. Talk about
And
it.
we're so
Talk
we
about
just
it.
keep putting salt on this wound, and
Mhm.
America is so ready to heal. That's why this has been the largest amount of turnout of voting.
And
Not
history.
alone, but in history.
And
He,
We're so hurt right
he done exactly, 45 done exactly what he was voted to do.
Absolutely,
For
Bruce.
his base.
And that
For
was
his base.
to make America white.
Divided.
Mhm.
He did exactly what they put him in there. He said make America great again. And what that meant was make America white again.
Absolutely.
He wanted it to go back to the 50s and the 60s,
Where it was great for them.
where it was their world.
Uh-huh.
And you know, what they doing to us now,
Well, they still doing singing dogs on
no,
hanging us
that's
trees.
one thing they
Yeah.
have not done.
No,
It's what?
It's what?
Dogs and water.
But
They-
you've not
they-
seen, you've not seen.
Now that I haven't seen them.
I've seen the
No,
dog
Oh,
on the
yeah,
gym.
I haven't seen them.
I've seen the dog on the gym.
Yeah.
Where the officer was saying, get him. He was like, my hands are behind my back, get your dog off.
Yeah, I've seen
Okay.
that.
Let's go back a second. Let's go back to the initial protesting right here in the city of Louisville where we live at.
Yeah.
I see some things done by the police department here in Louisville that they should lock them all up.
I've seen
They should lock them up. Did
some-
anybody see the protesting when it first started? How they were treating people?
I was there.
Yeah, I know.
I've been to almost every, but one of the last protests I met my pastor, Dr. F. Bruce Williams was
That's
there.
my man though.
And
Yeah,
Tim
shout out
Finley was
Bruce.
there. Shout out to Bruce.
Yeah.
And Tim Finley was there, and they actually countered us. And they shot off these cocktail or whatever, and they were just boom, boom, and it was kids, and there were strollers, and we
And
had
women.
to scatter, and women,
Yes.
and we had to scatter. I was holding up a banner, and Pastor Tim said, Shay, if you don't drop that banner and run, I'm like, they're police, they're here to protect and serve. But we
No.
didn't feel safe at all
Not
that
at that
day.
moment it was.
Not at all that day. And it was a peaceful protest.
Do you remember at a rally, what 45 said at a rally to the police?
Oh,
He
about
said, huh?
when he was talking about
Remind
rough
us.
Hit them.
Yeah.
Rough them up, hit them in the head, do whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
So,
That's the
and that's,
ammunition they had. And
So-
he said, and I'll get you out of jail.
And he
I'll
sure
get
did.
you out.
you remember, okay.
Okay,
So,
so
you
since
know-
we're talking about that, let me go back real quick because some students at Manual High School very recently found out that the state troopers were being trained with some language that was used by Hitler.
Mhm.
So when you training your officers to kill, and practice racism, you know, how can we begin to put this community back together with that kind of training happening?
That's hard for you to do, and that is why I think the chief was fired when they found out that this was the type of videos that they were showing, propaganda they was passing out.
It's a trainees.
Yeah, to their
Yeah.
trainees. So when a trainee is coming in, if you're not teaching diversity to your officers,
Sensitivity courses.
that too, that's a problem. Because we live in an era now where I'm not just talking about people of color, I'm talking about people with mental health issues. And if you're not trained properly to deal with somebody with mental health issues or a person of color that you look at everybody as a threat to you, because that's all they gotta do is say, I felt threatened, that's their favorite line, that they felt like they was threatened. But it's hard to change, once again, it has to come from within.
Yeah.
So them teaching that was enough that he should have been fired.
And you have to be open up for that change, right?
Yeah,
And so I would say for the training, we need more trainers, trainees, more teachers, police officers that look just like us. Because if a brother pulls me over, my blood pressure is not going up.
Right.
Right? I know I don't have to say. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. When my students walk into a classroom and they see Miss Johnson, they know they can lay it all out. Whether it's tears, whether it's laughter, whether it's, I need you to know my daddy got locked up last night. You understand? When you see that, because it's a certain compassion that comes and empathy that comes with that, right? So if a female officer pulls me over, I promise you, I know without a shadow of a doubt, I'm going home tonight.
Right.
I don't have to call girl and say, you know what, come on up to, I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I feel more at ease. And so with our officers and with our educators and with our public officials, they need to look more like us. And they've made it so hard. The roadblocks are so strong to get to that position, right? But we have to support each other and get there. Come what may.
Let me ask this question, because we had David James on our radio show. Shout out to 104.7 FM,
Hey.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Hey.
7 a.m.
Hey.
Continue to tune in. But we had David James on week 4 last. And David said something that I thought was very interesting. He said the police officers that serve in Louisville, Jefferson County, most of them don't live in.
They don't live in our
Jefferson
county, it's
Exactly.
bullet, they don't live in our
They're
county.
everywhere.
We have 120 counties in Kentucky. Jefferson County is the largest, but I tell you, these officers, I hope most of y'all are saved. These officers, they take off their heat and they go. They hit
Yeah.
64, they
And
hit
they're
the
outta
mindset, and they're out of here. It's like an hour and a half to the job. They don't live here. So how can you love a community and serve a community with empathy?
Mm.
If you don't live right here.
Watch out, man.
You don't live
Watch
You don't
out.
know what's going on Broadway, on
Absolutely
9 on DC Highway.
No.
What you do see is what your officers talk about, how all lives matter, and what you see on TV. We're a threat.
Right.
And you know, they always make the West End look like it's the worst ever.
Of course.
I mean,
Of course.
I've had relatives from out of town, you know, be like, oh, you know, somebody, you know, they told me that don't go in the West End,
Of
go in the
course.
West End, you're gonna make it back home. I
Of
said,
course.
girl, I've been living in the West End for 30 damn years.
That's right. That's right.
And
Great things come out of
and
West
great
End.
things have came out of West End. Don't you let people railroad you to thinking that the West End is the worst thing, because guess what? It's not where you live, it's how
How you
you live.
live.
Ooh, that's powerful. Stacey.
Bring that village.
Yeah.
Bring that village
Yeah.
on back.
I'm a village
Bring that
person.
village
You
on
know
back.
how we do, Shay.
Bring that
We
village
like
on
the
back.
village. So, you know, a lot of times, and like I said, that's what everyone sees, and you're absolutely right. They don't live in our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
They don't understand our children. They don't understand our young black males,
Our culture.
our culture. They don't understand it. So when they are down here working, it's nothing for them to feel like they can be aggressive with them.
Right.
Because guess what? I ain't gotta live next door to
Right.
you. When my shift is over, I drive
Go.
on back out
I'm
to
going.
Mount Washington,
Right.
to Shelby
Right.
County, to wherever it is.
And
that
they're
they
working
live.
out of fear.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's hard.
Absolutely.
So we're working out of fear.
But you would be in fear if every time you go and you going into work, they're telling you all the negative.
Yeah.
They ain't telling you the good parts about the West End.
And you
All the
don't
good
know the people where you serve.
That's right. You don't
You
know.
don't know the people where you serve.
That's why I said, you know,
And
they
that's
just look
why
like
they
us.
need to start hiring people that live in the communities they serve.
Pookie,
That's
Ray
it.
Ray,
All of us.
all of them, hire all them, bring them on the voice.
Absolutely.
Get them on there.
All of them.
Yeah.
Let's work on getting felonies removed
That's right.
and bringing them on.
And break them on in.
Mhm.
Because some of these felons are petty.
Petty.
They petty felons. They're stopping them from getting a job.
Well,
So,
you know when they lock you up, the first thing they do when they give you these felonies is take away your right to vote.
That's it.
You know, that's the first
that's the
thing
first
they do.
thing they want to
You
do.
can't vote and you can't do a good job. So
That's
what
why
do
we're
you do
thankful
from
for the
there?
Urban League.
There you go.
We're so thankful for the Urban League because
Absolutely.
they had the attorneys come out and volunteer to remove those felonies so we can get our people back voting.
Yes. Because I'm sorry, I don't think nobody should be punished for the rest of their life for something they did when they was 20 years